Hello everyone, I am going to talk on the topic food spoilage, causes and types. Introduction. Food spoilage usually refers to undesirable changes occurring in food due to the action of microorganisms, insects and enzymes. Food is rendered unfit for human consumption due to the physical and chemical changes taking place in it as a result of the influences of air, heat, light and moisture which foster the growth of microorganisms. Food usually undergo deterioration or spoilage from the time they are harvested, slaughtered or manufactured. Foods vary greatly in the length of time for which they can be held in their natural form without spoilage. Causes of food spoilage. First, microbial spoilage. The microorganisms that cause food spoilage are molds, yeasts and bacteria. Bacteria, yeasts and molds spoil food after harvesting, during handling, processing and storage. They are found everywhere. They, however, are not generally found within healthy living tissues but are always present to invade the flesh of animals and plants when there is a break in their skin or if the skin is weakened by disease or death. Let's discuss the spoilage microorganisms one by one. First, bacteria. Bacteria are unicellular organisms and are much smaller in size than either yeasts or molds. Bacteria are classified according to the shape of their cells. Cocci are spherical in shape. Bacilli are elongated cylindrical forms and spirula and vibrios are spiral. They also vary in their requirements for food, moisture, acidity, temperature and oxygen. Bacteria can grow and develop rapidly between 20 degrees Celsius and 53 degrees Celsius. Bacteria usually cause spoilage in foods which are neutral in their reaction, such as vegetables, milk, eggs, meat and fish. Some of them, when ingested, can be harmful to human beings. Second, yeasts. Yeasts are unicellular plants, fungi, widely distributed in nature, and they grow well in a slightly acid medium in the presence of sugar and water. They are found in fruits, cereals, and other food containing sugar. They are also found in soil, air, on the skins, and in the intestines of animals. Their growth is rapid between 25 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius. Foods are often contaminated with yeast and they can cause spoilage by conversion of the sugar present in the foods to alcohol and carbon dioxide. Foods liable to be spoiled by yeasts are fruit, juices, syrups, molasses, honey, jams and jellies. Molds. Mold growth on foods with its fuzzy or cottony appearance is familiar to everyone, and foods with such growth on them are generally unfit to eat. They can grow on almost all kinds of foods. Molds are most likely to develop in warm, damp and dark places. Most molds grow well between 25 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. Molds frequently thrive under conditions of acidity or of osmotic pressures that are inhibitory to most bacteria. This explains why they are frequently found growing on the surface of jams and jellies. Second, spoilage by enzymes. Enzymes are organic catalysts produced by living cells. Many reactions in plant and animal tissues are activated by enzymes. They are responsible for facilitating many changes during storage, such as the changes in color, texture, and flavor noted in fresh produce after it has been harvested. They are proteins and hence denatured by heat. The changes in foods during storage can be produced both by enzymes present in the food or by enzymes from organisms that contaminate the food. If there is a bruised spot in the fruits, yeasts could grow and produce enzymes which could spoil the fruit. Enzymes can act from 0 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. Third, spoilage by insects, parasites, and rodents. Insects are particularly destructive so far as cereal grains, fruits, and vegetables are concerned. Insect eggs may persist in the foods even after processing, as for example in flour. Insects in grains, dried fruits, and spices are generally controlled by fumigation with fumigants like methyl bromide, ethylene oxide, and propylene oxide. Parasite food spoilage occurs in some foods. One common parasitic contamination of foods is Entamoeba histolytica, responsible for amoebic dysentery. This organism contaminates foods when raw human excrement is used as fertilizer for crops. Infected water and poor hygiene also spread the parasite. Cooking kills most of these parasites. Rodents' urine and droppings harbor several kinds of disease-producing bacteria, and rats spread such human diseases as typhus fever, plague, typhoid fever, etc. Fourth, spoilage by temperature. Heat and cold, apart from their role in food preservation, contribute to food spoilage if not controlled. Excessive heat brings about protein denaturation, destroys vitamins, breaks emulsions, and dries out food by removing moisture. Uncontrolled cold also will spoil the food. The freezing and thawing of fruits and vegetables destroy their structure. Fifth, spoilage by moisture. Presence or absence of excess moisture in food leads to food spoilage. Foods with a high percentage of water deteriorate fast. Perishable foods have a high water content. Leafy vegetables, young shoots, juicy fruits, meats and milk deteriorate rapidly. Fruits and vegetables can give off moisture from respiration and transpiration even when packed in a moisture-free package. This moisture trapped within the package is enough for the microorganisms to grow. Sixth, spoilage by oxygen, light, and time. Air and oxygen bring about a number of destructive changes in food components, such as destruction of food color, flavor, vitamins A and C, and other food constituents. Light destroys vitamin B2, A, and C. It also deteriorates many food colors. Foods may be protected from light by impervious packing or keeping them in containers that screen out specific wavelengths. All the food deteriorative factors considered so far are time dependent. The larger the time, the greater the destructive influences. All foods, fresh or processed, have their qualities at a peak at some time after they are obtained. For best quality, they should be consumed before deterioration sets in. All the food deteriorative factors considered so far are time dependent. Now, types of food spoilage. Physical spoilage. Physical damage to the protective outer layer of food harvesting, processing, or distribution increase the chance of chemical or microbial storage. Examples of physical spoilage include staling of bakery products and components, moisture migration between different components, physical separation of components or ingredients, moisture loss or gain. Chemical spoilage. When animal or vegetable material is removed from its natural source of energy and nutrient supply, chemical changes begin to occur which lead to deterioration in its structure. The two major chemical changes which occur during the processing and storage of foods and lead to a deterioration in sensory quality are lipid oxidation, rancidity, and enzymic browning. Chemical reactions are also responsible for changes in the color and flavor of foods during processing and storage. Microbial spoilage. These microorganisms, molds, yeasts, and bacteria do not cause disease, but they spoil food by growing in the food and producing substances which alter color and odor of the food, making it unfit for human consumption. For example, souring of milk, growth of mold on bread, and rotting of fruits and vegetables. To conclude, despite the fact that food is free from harmful levels of microorganisms when it is brought home, there is still a danger of food spoilage due to the causes discussed above. In order to avoid it in the home, standards of hygiene should be maintained in all aspects of food preservation. Personal hygiene and kitchen sanitation practice should be maintained. Foods should be appropriately stored. The temperature range favorable for growth of microorganisms should be avoided. Food should be kept at a temperature colder than 4 degrees Celsius. Hot foods should be cooled as quickly as possible to the point where they can be placed in the refrigerator. Thank you.